Hi everyone, it's about 5:35 and this is your closing comments, video number 479, and please hit the subscribe button if you appreciate the work. Okay, today was kind of an interesting day. We had the Netflix earnings which sent the stock lower. We had uh, GM introducing a base price $112,000 car. But by the end of the day, we had a whole new set of interesting issues. We closed down 97.97, or about a third of a percent, with the NASDAQ down 31.80, or just under a third of a percent. The S&P down 756, or just less than a quarter of a percent. The Russell was down just under 14, or 0.8 of a percent, and the big loser was the transports, which were down 1.14%, or 135 and 28. What was interesting here, as excuse me, yesterday when the were higher, the VIX was also higher. Today, with the market down, the VIX was down. Advanced declines were 2-1 to the downside on both the NYSE and NASDAQ. Okay, so Snap, which was up 6.5 this morning at 34.95, or 23%, actually finished even stronger. It got as high as 38.89 and closed 36.26, up $7.81, which was really a home run. And a surprise here was Texas Instruments, which the numbers looked okay, and the stock this morning traded as high as 153 3/4, turned back down and actually traded down to 144.66 and closed 146.13, down 470. So from this morning's 152 up $1.17 to 146.13, down 470. Also on the earnings front, we had CSX with a beat. It had closed 78.72, down $1.41, and traded up, and last was 81.80, up $1.67. But that's over $3 in reversal from close to where it's trading now. Chipotle also had good numbers. Stock had closed 13.66, up 18, traded all the way down on good numbers to 12.50, and the last was 13.10, down 36. I put out excuse me, I put out a note when the stock was down about 68 that I thought that anybody who wanted to trade it in extended hours, to buy a small odd lot of the stock, would probably be a good purchase. And as I said, it rallied about $30 off that, $60 off the actual low. Tesla was a surprise in that nothing was really going on with the stock. It actually had traded at the close was 422.64, up 70 cents, which for Tesla is a pretty calm day. It's like a rounding error. But it traded all the way up to 442, and the last was 436, up 14. But the real home run of the day was Whirlpool, and that makes all the sense in the world when you think about yesterday's housing starts and permits, and prices moving higher in the home building area, that a company like Whirlpool, who does an awful lot of several their own brand and several private label brands would do well. It actually closed the day 196.83, and that was down 1.5% or $3.10. After the earnings, it traded as high as 216. So 196 to 216, a $20 pop. And the last on it is 205, up 507 or 2.5%. But from close to last, that's actually $9 and closer to 4%. Google, Facebook, Twitter, all higher, partially in sympathy or getting some of the glow from the Snap numbers. And they all closed okay. What also happened, and this bears on the Bitcoin, PayPal is getting into the crypto business, and the stock closed 213, up 11.11. What was interesting about that was that Bitcoin today, I'm going to change this chart, Bitcoin today had a really nice move to the upside. It actually closed 12,755, up 785 after trading as high as 13,000 and change, 13,005. This is a chart that I have loved for a couple of weeks. This was the move today. To put that in context, we'll go back to the weekly and take a little longer look. Pretty impressive. The high here is just under 14,000, 13,915, and all week last week I was loving this chart, and today here we are, 12,900. I sold half of what was left of our GBTC position. That's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And it's our proxy for people who don't trade futures to be able to participate in this. Unfortunately, as I've said before, they don't trade options on it, so only the big account, which trades stock and options, has been able to take advantage of this. We had 500 shares left of my 750 share position. 250 of that was sold a couple of weeks ago at 13.93 before this little pullback. Today I sold another 250 at 14.19. Our average cost on those was $8.97. We still have 250 shares at that level, and I'm guessing if we get back up into that 13,000, I'll sell that also and wait for some kind of pullback. I mean, nothing grows to the sky. You can see every time we have a big move, we definitely come back in, and so I'll be watching for that. The oil market was really the weight on most futures today. There was a build and excess in Cushing, and basically there's such a surplus, and without jet fuel and some of the rest of the distillates, the things that come out of oil, like heating oil and crude and diesel, without a lot of demand for the after products, the price of the commodity generally falls. Last night I told you that I favored the short side here. I wasn't really thinking about taking positions, but I'd sell it against the highs. So basically we were 41.90 yesterday, and today we barely held on to 40. As a matter of fact, right now we're trading exactly 40. The close in regular trading hours was 40.03, down $1.67. Gold was higher, As I said, the Bitcoin was higher. The bonds were down a little, but we took a profit in the TBT, which was our position in the bonds, short bonds, long interest rates. And unfortunately, this is the biggest problem. I think it's the biggest problem for us in general. Deficits and lack of progress in the stimulus talks sent the dollar solidly lower. I have harped on this area being support, and we just fell right through it. I would not be the least bit surprised to see us now test 92 and a quarter or so. We closed 92.59.9, so 92.60, and we were down about 45 cents on the day. All right, well, that's it. I'll be back first thing in the morning with your pre-opening comment. Have a good evening. Hope you all had a profitable day. I know that we took profits, as I said, in GBTC and in the TBT calls. Have a good evening.